Guys, the red light is on. Dave Van Auken. I'm really pumped today, this morning. Happy Easter over the weekend. Happy Monday out there. A lot of happies out there. Michelle Montague, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Yeah, had a great Easter weekend and ready for another good week.
There you go. I'm not going to lie. We're going to go right away. I love social media. I saw you on social media. Make sure you follow Michelle, guys. The Wild One MMA. 6:30. You had a little fishing rod. You fishing last night?
We're at Coach Moko's for Easter dinner, and he got his boys to take me just out the back of their place to a little lake there and have a little go. I'm used to saltwater fishing back home, like all offshore, especially with kayak fishing. So freshwater, especially up here, is pretty new to me. So there's a few like tricks and bits and pieces that I've probably got to pick up. So yeah, just had a little bit of fun out there.
There you go. There you go. Fun is good. Fun is good. The fight game is so hard, and practicing and training and eating and weight cut, all that stuff is so hard. Having fun once in a while is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's so
right.
Like, how can you not like it? Yeah.
I was going to jump right into that. It was a beautiful transition with Mako. Tell me, just go all in with the ATT Mako Mondays. I mentioned that with the wrestling. You were so dominant with your PFL win. We'll kind of jump into that as well. Just how vital that gym is to you right now and how vital that is to your career going forward.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously there's just like every gym, amazing coaches for every person kind of thing. What works well for me here is obviously having Kayla to train with. So like someone that's built, spec for spec the same, because it's quite hard to find big girls at the gym that obviously are good at MMA as well. There's a lot of big girls that do like just striking or just grappling. So to have that there is awesome. And then there's a couple other girls that are also bigger as well. So that's probably one of the more important things, is having solid training partners that are your size that are fighting. And then, the coaches, take me under their wing, like they see what areas I need to, work on, or what will work for me to focus more on and all that there. And they give me that knowledge, that time and all that as well. And then obviously being stateside, so if it's like, oh, hey, can you fill in this fight on this date? Then like, I'm already here, I'm ready to go. I'm training full time, and I'm not flying 30 hours to get here as well. So that's awesome. And then being able to do, other sort of grappling tournaments and things like that, just fly to another state and get it done and rack that experience up as well. It all works in pretty well.
All right, you said so much there. I wanted there's so many different ways I want to take it. Okay, so first, so you fought March-ish, I believe, just off the top of my head for PFL. And then I was there the last week, was that, I think it was last Friday, was the last challenger series for PFL, was last chance. Did they ask you to be a part of that?
Yeah.
Okay. What? Because I was surprised when I didn't see you, because I was there all those weeks, and I really thought you were one of the number one prospects that didn't, get all that stuff. So I was intrigued that you weren't there.
I mean, so I did get asked to fight, and between me and two other girls that also had fought that same night as me, I said yes. One couldn't make the weight, and one mulled it over overnight and then said no, whether it was travel or weight or who knows what. We were very different styles, so maybe that played part of it as well. So then I didn't get to fight. They asked me the week before, and I was like obviously ready and keen. Then those two girls popped up on the fight night, but I didn't get offered those two girls. So maybe that was there'll be reasons for all that,
Yeah.
It's all very stuff gets political, but still it was cool to see those two fight, because obviously they won their fights pretty dominantly. And it's good experience for one of the girls too. That was only her second fight ever. And she's straight gone pro. So, for her to have that will be amazing experience for her.
Very cool. Very cool. So I see that you're wearing the shirt as well. So I assume that, is it really PFL pushing forward? Is that kind of where the home were for Michelle in the future?
I mean,
or are you literally a free agent? Like, are you serious? If Bellator or UFC or whatever called you up right now, would you be able to fight on another major promotion?
I'm honestly not 100% sure. Like, okay. I think I can fight elsewhere, but I don't know if I can. It's obviously we did that first fight, and then and then the next fight won't be for a little bit while on after the regular season. But it's like, okay, what do I do fight-wise till then? That's a bit of a grey area, obviously, for us in the development side of things. But having words with the coaches and all that there, I think we're just going to take it as it is now, and I think we're staying on that track.
Okay. I like that. I put your picture up with fan questions at Fight Bananas, so we'll get into that. There are some good, fun fan questions we'll get into. I know, right? Sometimes it's not great, but they had some pretty good ones for you, so I'm excited for that. So when I did kind of follow you and started watching you and started looking at some of your stuff, I saw like you did a lot of vlogs back in the day. And I'm intrigued. Are you going to be doing that going forward? And what kind of got you into that? And just, it's so amazing how important MMA, especially for the fighters, this side of things, the interviews and social media and vlogs of that nature. So I would just love your take on that.
Yeah. I think I first started there. When New Zealand went into lockdown the first time, and we were like 3 months, weren't allowed to leave the house except for one person going to the store. And we live in a small town anyway, so it was just quiet and peaceful. And, our family, we actually quite enjoyed it. So during that time, I had a bunch of footage because I had thought I looked forward when I was doing one. I think it might have been, I don't know if it was World Champs or Oceanias, one of the two for IMAFs. And I thought, I could use this footage. Anyway, I ended up using it and had all that time, which is the sort of time that you never have when you're training, to sit there and make like an iMovie. Like that stuff takes hours. You're in the industry. So preaching to the choir here. So
2:30 a.m. is my friend. 2:30 a.m. is my friend. We get friendly.
That's it. So so then I had all this time in my hands and decided like, hey, that's a perfect time to do it. Made one up, and I really enjoyed doing it, and it was quite fun to do with that extra time that I had. And it was a cool way to for people like my family, close friends. Like it's not like I have like a following and that there on my YouTube and that really, it's more. But it was pretty fun to do for people that do know me and that, and got to see like the inside of like a bit of the fight camp. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Some days you feel like absolute caca, and here's a video of proof. Like, so I quite enjoyed doing that. I mean, I think my motivation for it was actually Brad Riddell's ones that he did, and he just does it with his phone or GoPro or whatever, and like did bits of the trip, the camp, the this and that, and and just makes it up himself. And I was like, that was actually really like cool to watch the backgrounds of. So then I think that's why I did it for my one. And then I obviously haven't done it I did it for Russia. I haven't done it for Abu Dhabi because pretty much went from there to over here and everything. But it's something that going forward, like I would like to keep doing.
Yeah, it's amazing how the UFC, how they do those embeddeds, especially for the pay-per-views, like with Chimaev and Burns. There was so much buzz around that fight. People wanted to see them walking around, just all the stuff outside. Of course, the fight was amazing inside, and that fight was. Yeah. But it seems like the MMA fans love the behind the scenes, the backstage stuff, sometimes even more than the fight. It's pretty amazing how much.
No, I agree. I was watching those too, and I was like fascinated. So it's it's also a bit of fun to make when you have the time. It's pretty fun to put it all together and like clip it up and make it look entertaining.
Yep. Very cool. So when I did look at, you started your AMI career in 2015. That's wild. And then I kept on seeing your stats and just so many submission wins, so much grab. Like, so when you got into it 2015, what was the mindset? What kind of like, okay, let me try this. And when you did go amateur, was it like, hey, I can foresee me one day in 2022 fighting for the PFL? Like, did you see it back then as a profession, like as a career? Or is this something you were just going to do and kind of see what happened little by little?
So I don't really do anything just to go and see what happens. Like I pretty much go with like a stubborn mindset of like, this is my thing. Yes. I was still playing rugby at the time, but I Googled up MMA gym near me, which was close to like our farm town kind of thing. And there was one in Hamilton, Core MMA. So that's like obviously my coach that's still on my corner today. Yeah. And I went there, showed up, did the classes, and then just did morning, lunch, night class every day for like a month. I didn't even work for that first month when I'd been come home from overseas. Just like lived off my savings, stayed in the city, trained, played rugby, and then 5 weeks later from joining, I had a fight. And it was like an all-women's fight card, low risk, all Kiwis, and all like all debut fighting, like, you know, for everyone pretty much except for the main card. So so I had a fight on that at like 140, 145 kind of thing, and just loved it, obviously, and won by submission on that too. So just the grappling side of it's, I feel, a lot easier to pick up at the start. I mean, you can go pretty hard with it. It was more of a jiu-jitsu focused gym for the most part, so it was something that we put a lot of work into. So obviously from the very start, like I wanted to go professional with it at some stage. The hard part was I had 2 fights and then broke my leg in rugby, and then had and then trained a while longer again, was wrestling, about to do a big, like the Commonwealth Games for wrestling, and then broke my other leg 2 days before the tournament up in Canada at my training camp. Just wrestling, it just like snapped. I'm thinking probably like I wasn't eating enough. Maybe I was dropping down weight too early.
Oh, okay.
You know, maybe. The way I broke it, that's the only thing that makes sense, is my bones were just going to talk. So, so then I broke that leg. So even though I started in 2015, I spent 2 years worth of broken legs, including rehab and all that there. Right. And finally, after those, injuries and that there, 2019, I was able to go to the World Champs and actually string some tournaments together. I did Oceania's World Champs, Oceania's, Europeans World Champs, like all this back-to-back stuff, past the lockdowns. And then it was like, hey, finally we've got enough, time strung together that we can have our first pro fight. I didn't know about PFL back in 2015, obviously.
It didn't exist.
Yeah. So, but I've been watching it, I think probably 2018, 19 maybe. Yeah. Because we had Jenna fighting in it. So like I had geographical interest because there was a girl that was from, NZ in it. And then, so I was able to start watching it and, be interested in it and then, see it from there out.
Right. So Volkanovski, definitely on tip of everyone's tongue. And then you mentioned rugby, and I just kind of went right to that. Do you think rugby is a perfect little transition into mixed martial arts? Is that literally a great base? It's so physical. You have to do a couple different things. It's not just, throwing a ball, right? It's not just shooting a ball. There's like a lot of different things of it. Is that a good transition, you think? A good base from start to rugby to MMA?
I mean, yeah,
it's working for Volkanovski.
I was similar to Volk the way we were built like a brick shit house, the weight wise. I think I was trying to gain weight. This is before I broke my leg the second time, and I got to I don't even know what that is in pounds. Probably 170 pounds or something. 175. I got big because I was trying to be better for the sport. Right. But the amount of contact you're in, your neck is so strong, especially you're in the forward pack. You're tackling people, so you're doing double legs every training, every game, and your gas tank, but too, because you're playing. If you're playing the positions that we play, you're playing 80-minute games at a time with one break in the middle, and you're just going the whole time. So you build a good gas tank. You're powerful. Your contact, awareness and everything like that, there is super high. But yeah, so I started that at 4 years old and had done that straight for almost 20 years.
Right. Wow. Another thing I would definitely want to bring up. So I have twin daughters of myself, and it's kind of funny. I tell Kayla this a couple of times. They're New Year's Eve girls, and they were born literally 5-6 hours before Kayla won. I think the first time, first time or the second million. And we're literally in the hospital bed, and we have one of those little TVs. So my wife had to watch ESPN. We had to watch PFL to kind of.
Oh, good. Yes.
Literally, the girls are I think they'll have Kayla Harrison on their posters of them on the wall forever. That kind of thing. But what I'm getting at is, so your physique, a generation before us, I feel and tell me if I'm way off, and I would love it too, right? So I feel females with your physique, beautiful, strong physique, back in the day, a generation was looked to be a bodyguard or looked to be, very, very. The word is not coming to me, but now it's
you want to say, don't hold back.
I just feel it's now in 2022. It's amazing that your physique can look so great and beautiful. Like, it's not like just one or the other. Like, you can pull off both. You can look beautiful in a dress and then look badass and have muscles like Wonder Woman. And do you feel that transition, and how great is it to be, a part of that transition, to look as strong as a Kayla Harrison? Or I was with Hannah Goldie yesterday for Easter, and she's so beautiful, but so built and strong. And it's just this beautiful transition that's happening now, I think, and going forward.
I think that's just a cultural swing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you see it through every sport, though. It's like once the women are, I don't know, globally accepted in that sport, so like mixed martial arts or rugby or anything, like once they have that, then it's, okay, we can like the men can respect their skills, and then, look, they're not just pretty in a dress, they actually are like strong in this, that. So I think that women we've always seen ourselves as strong, as beautiful, and all that there, like us girls that are bigger anyway, or even the small girls that are, ripped to shreds. So I think we've always seen that, but now that with social media, like TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, where it's so easy to see so many strong, powerful, and beautiful women, that it's just more common to see. But I think before that social media age, it was like you see one walking out, and what is that in the wilderness? It's a muscly female. Better catcall her. Better call her a man. Better say this and that. Better get my ass beat by her. Like all this shit, like because it was such a rarity. Now that you just see it across the board on every social media, it's like, and you also know that these girls will probably fuck you up if you talk shit to them, because like they've dealt with it all their life. Like I remember playing rugby when I was at intermediate school, and I'd get called like a boy in this, that, because I did a boys sport and I was, built like a boy. And I remember being like, what the fuck is this? Like, I come from a small country, like primary school, gone into town for intermediate, and then had boys saying this, and I was like, I thought I was like one of the boys, and now like they're picking on me. This is annoying. And then you grow up and they get older, they get over it, and everyone's all cool again. But there's that real awkward age where you are built so differently to all the other girls, and the boys, I don't know whether it's intimidation or whether it's just like fun to do or whatever, but across the board, like it's developed into just like a very, very normal thing, because even young girls can see like on social media and that, like, big, strong girls that can do everything as well. So I think back then, we didn't have that. So it was quite rare to see. So it was easy to be picked on for it. Yeah.
Right. So well said. So well said, man. You should, we got to bring that vlog back. We got to bring the vlog back, Michelle. We got to do it. Couple last things, and then like I said, we'll go with the fan questions. There's a nice little female UFC main event fight. Jessica Andrade, who's a monster. I love watching Jessica fight. She's fighting Lemos, who's, I think she's won 4 or 5 in a row. What's your take on that? And do you watch the UFC? I know it's, PFL, very, very strong base PFL, but if the fights are on a Saturday night, you guys definitely watch them?
Oh, I always watch the cards, unless I, for some reason, can't. But I always watch them. I like Andrade. She's a little nugget, like powerhouse.
So good.
Such a little meatball. So she's exciting. I kind of like that build and like the power she brings and stuff. And the La Moscow, I only think I watched her with her Angie fight. So I don't really know too much about them like holistically, but I still kind of want to go with Andrade for this, because I feel like I've watched her a bit more, and just like that little nugget powerhouse, like want it for the win.
Yeah, I like that. So at ATT, trading always with Kayla, but what's another girl that's younger in the game? Maybe she's not even been on the PFL stage yet or UFC stage yet. I'm talking to Elle Wagman a lot now, and she's at ATT. I think Elle's an absolute stud. What's another female at ATT? She's like, Dave, keep your eye on. Like 2 years from now, she will be a monster on one of these major promotions.
Probably Evelyn, who is in the development for the PFL, just had like visa issues before the last fight. So she was meant to fight the girl with the red hair braids. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's only 19. She's built as fuck. And, super strong jiu-jitsu, good wrestling as well. And then has done like Muay Thai since she was like, in kindergarten or whatever. So she, super young, you know what I mean? So has time to mature and grow and like, and all that there, in all areas. But I'm just like, that's that's like you train with her in any of the areas, and you really got to like focus and push yourself. And she's only 19, so yeah, that's probably one there.
Yeah, her at 24 years old. Whew, she's gonna be a monster.
Oh, she's built like a monster too. So it's just like those bigger girls like that. But there's a lot of girls that are smaller that are like really good as well. Obviously, I don't get to train with them as much because they're half my size. But you watch them with each other, and the skill level is so high.
Yeah, very cool. All right, let's get into it. We got a ton of fan questions, some really good ones, some funny ones.
Okay, one sec. I'm gonna plug my laptop in.
Okay, yeah, plug it in. Yep.
Before it dies on ya.
No way, no dying. That's so funny. I'm doing it right there too. We're plugging our laptops in together. We're a team.
Look at that.
Do you miss rugby?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play it socially when I'm old and can't fight anymore.
Right. Just like we'll find a nice little rugby beach.
No, I'll play it on a field. I'll be that old hag lady that plays, and thinks they're the captain and shit.
The captain. Wait, but okay, you just called it a field right away. Isn't it called a pitch? Is that just a soccer field or what's?
No, it's a rugby field.
Rugby field? Okay, so a pitch is just in soccer?
Yeah. And we also don't shoot the ball, but I wasn't going to pick you up on that, but now you bring it up. That was Don't even say that again.
Okay, well, I'm off. We're friends. I won't. All right, here we go. This is a great one to start the go. How can you be amazing in so many things?
Wow, okay. Assuming I am amazing at so many things, we'll go ahead and say, like, you just have to put your mind to it and tell yourself that you're going to do it, and then just do it, instead of talking about it, talking it up and dreaming about it. Just put pen to paper, set a goal and go and do it, whether it's fishing or rugby or fighting.
Yeah.
Just bite the bullet and go do it. Every time I've done something, it's just been like, I've just committed to it,
Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite all-time TV show?
Ooh, McLeod's Daughters or Desperate Housewives.
Okay. When
McLeod's
will you
Daughters, just so you know, McLeod's Daughters are like an Australian, all females, live on a ranch and just work on horses and like all that stuff. It's cool.
Is it like reality or is it comedy or like a drama show?
It's a series, so like, yeah. It's not funny. It's more
not
like,
funny.
Yeah.
Okay. When will you make your 135 debut?
Oh, when I get an opportunity there. I mean, if this opportunity now was at 135, then you'd just be talking to a skinny Michelle.
What's your favorite wild animal?
Chameleon.
Another sport. This should be probably an easy one after a lot of time we talked about it. Another sport that you could be a professional at, what would it be?
Rugby.
Do you have a funny gym story?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Funny for me, not that person. I think I was getting I think I've been put in a couple bad positions, and then I had only one way out, and that was to go for a wee oil check and to see how far the boy jumps when you go for that is just
I love it. This is a good one. Do you like open round scoring systems? Would you like to know the score after each round?
For me, I've only had those 2 fights out of 14 that went the distance. So yes, actually looking at it from those, that would have been cool. Because if you knew you were down 2 or whatever, but it doesn't change too much when you're in the moment. You're kind of in the moment, but maybe if it's just that extra push for you to do something, a bit crazy at the end there because you're down, instead of mentally thinking that you're up or even. So yeah, I don't see the harm in it. You know what I mean? It's just an extra bit of data you got to like interpret in the break. But yeah, I think I don't see any negatives in it. I can't see a negative in it.
I've had so many like debates and like really good conversation about it. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. to me as a fighter, like you said, you said something so beautiful, perfect. I just want the most data as possible. Like I just want the information.
Yeah.
Some judges, maybe if you're dominating the grappling and the wrestling stage of the fight for 4.5 minutes, but the other girl gets great shots on you, really good jabs and a leg kick for 30 seconds, you want to know, like I assume, right? Michelle won that round because you were up 4.
Exactly. So you want to know how are these judges going to score this fight? Because it is, like you said, it's like these are judged by humans and humans make errors. So it's good to know, like, okay, what kind of judging are we going for? I mean, so I don't see any negatives in that process.
And even like you, with that point too, like even the judging, you said with error, sometimes it's not even an error. They're just like, they just have a different opinion on how to win or how to like a fight. Like I love ice cream, but you might love vanilla. And I might like strawberry ice cream, and that there's nothing wrong with it. But like, so when someone can, like, if you're controlling the fight for 4 minutes and 30 seconds, you got to think you won the round. But this judge over here, Jacob, might be like, nope, the other girl had a great leg kick and a jab and might go the other way. So I think soon it's gonna be one of those things 5 years from now, like you know, in a big UFC fight, a big PFL main event, there's gonna be that, you know, a big scoreboard. Michelle 1-0, of course, 2-0, you know. But you know, you don't see a lot of three rounds, you know, you don't see a lot of third rounds. Last little fan question for you. What's this? Oh, okay. What is your end of the year goal for 2022 in MMA?
End of the year goal for May here would be to have had 2 more fights, obviously with the PFL at this stage. So, you know, August and, you know, October, November, and win those, get my checks, be ready for the next year.
There you go. Are you going to be out there May 6th with Kayla?
I think so. I think so.
There you go. Sounds good. Oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm awesome, dude. Michelle, you were a blast. I had fun talking to you in March after your win, and I just wish you nothing but the best. And just big things, big year for Michelle.
Thank you so much, David.